It's all you.
We're back. The two people you know and love who can't keep a set schedule come back to talk about some more foolishness, nonsense. That's Michael. I'm Leroy. This is the We Try channel, a Nerdy by Nature Productions.
Hmm.
This is a tape segment because I've got some family I got to deal with, and Michael has some kind of show he wants to watch that's live. I don't know.
Money in the Bank, sir.
Yeah, that foolishness. Um,
Because everybody know Americano Grande Americano is going to win the Money in the Bank championship.
I don't know who that is, sir. You did that sounds like something I would get at Taco Bell. Um,
I mean, it is almost as racist. So sure, yeah.
that sounds like a gordita and a chalupa made a baby with some French fries and nacho mix. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're here with a tape segment to talk
Mhm.
about video games. Last week we talked about Michael's trip, trying to become a Japanese citizen and leaving the country,
Oh, if only.
betraying us as a
Yeah.
nation.
Yeah,
But
and I would do it again.
they sent him back packing.
Even with the bronchitis, I would do it again.
Sent him back packing. So this week, Nintendo released the Switch 2, and
Sure did.
Sony said, "Hold my beer, state of play, bitches." Dropped a state of play on them the day they dropped their console. So we're gonna talk about it. Michael, you texted me the day the Switch 2 dropped and was like, "Yo, I think I'm gonna get one." Now,
Yeah.
you had been poo-pooing this idea of a Switch 2,
I have.
and when I
I have.
texted you,
I still am poo-pooing it.
hold on, let me. I didn't even got there because you bought
Oh, okay.
one.
I
Yeah,
sure did.
You did like you were like, I got in the queue, I picked it up, I went to the midnight release. Have you opened it yet?
I have cracked the seal for a second just to make sure that the console was actually there and it wasn't damaged, because I'd seen reports that some people were having I guess at one GameStop, the way they stapled receipts to it, the staple actually went into the screen.
That was
which
actually
sucks.
Best Buy.
Okay, some store they stapled it there. Mine does not have that issue, so I looked for that. But other than that, I have not opened it.
Okay.
I got in line at 7. I got off work at 7. I went to the Rock Hill Best Buy. Got there about 7:40 or so. Waited in line till midnight. Picked
there
it
was
up,
a line?
and yeah. By the time the midnight launch rolled around, there's probably about 40, 50 people in line.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they have 40 or 50 of them?
Yeah, they did. That's the thing. It wasn't it was very orderly.
Really?
I think Nintendo, we can talk about all kinds of things. I think Nintendo was smart in having enough consoles out there, because the manager kept saying throughout the night, he was pleasantly surprised with the stock he got. He didn't think he was going to get that much stock. He was more concerned about the accessories in the consoles. But yeah, I was able to get a ticket. I got the system. I got Mario Kart. I got Legend of Zelda. I got Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because I never played that one. I guess I can show you all the stuff. Let's see. Oh,
Now, it's funny as you pull that out. Do you know why I was texting you? Like, did you play it? So you came up today while I was on the truck talking about the Switch 2, because me and one of my coworkers, Isabel, she's plays video games, and she was like, I was asking her about getting it. She was like, nah, and I was like, do you think it's worth it? And she was like, nope. And I told her about you getting in line, getting it, whatever, and she was like, well, let me know if he thinks it's worth it. So we were talking about it, and then that's when I texted you. When you texted about, we can do state of play, and I was like, well, what's up with the Switch 2? And you were like, nah, it's not worth it. So Isabel was like doing audio while I was punching, and she was like, that confirmed my suspicions. And I was like,
now, to be clear, I'm a Nintendo sucker. I spent over $800 for all that stuff. I just wanted it because I wanted it. I don't need it right now. And I know down the line there will be some must-play Nintendo Switch games that I have to have.
Yeah.
There are none right now. I'm excited to play Mario Kart, but it's not like I have to play Mario Kart.
Now, if I bought it, I would have bought it for Mario Kart for Katie. Like, if I bought a Switch 2,
Sure.
it's not for me.
Sure.
If I bought a Switch 2, I would have bought it for her in Mario Kart because she loves Mario Kart.
The last thing I showed were the racing wheels. That was
Mhm.
Wendy bought that actually for herself because, as she says, she cannot drive in video games, so she wanted the wheel to help with that. So she bought that.
Yeah, because the wheel's gonna help that.
No comment.
Yeah, it's
I
the
said,
wheel.
whatever you say, wife.
It's the wheel.
Whatever you say, get that wheel. But yeah, so all that is to say, I've not opened it yet. Maybe this weekend I'll finally crack it open and play it. But
Okay.
I've been so busy with work. As soon as I picked it up, actually, when I got home, an hour and a half later, I just went to sleep. And then
Damn.
because I drive to Charlotte, I had to wake up, get ready to go to work. So maybe this weekend. Yeah.
I'd have called out.
Yep.
But then again, that's me. I call out for MCU movies. So
I definitely considered it, but we are short staffed and I'm training a bunch of people, so I just couldn't call out.
hey, Michael Jordan said it best. Fuck them kids.
Fantastic.
But
So, all
no.
right, people don't care about the Switch 2. What are we talking about?
No, the reason why I brought up Switch 2 is because I thought I didn't know that they were doing a state of play. When you hit me, it was like, Sony's doing a state of play. I was like, am I that removed from the gaming world that I didn't know they were doing a state of play? And I thought it was interesting that Sony was like, yeah, stunning them. Like, I really felt like Sony was like, don't let Nintendo have this day. Because, like, for a fact, this, like, at work, you guys have a calendar of all the events of, like, what's going on for the year. We all know when we work in news, we all know when the Super Bowl is. We know when Inauguration Day is. We know when the state of the state is. We know when the State of the Union is. We keep dates on our calendar because that's the job we do. So I'm like, Sony has to know the Switch 2 is coming out. So when their marketing team put this together and they was like, yo, drop it on them. That was intentional. So I was like, let's see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So you watched it.
Mm-hmm.
You texted me this morning. What was your initial reaction?
I liked it. And I think when I first told you about it, I said, it was going to focus on Ghost of Yotei.
That's what I thought.
I got that misconstrued or something because it didn't focus on that. They just did a teaser to say we're going to have something bigger down the line on Ghost of Yotei.
And I honestly,
I kind of was happy that happened because there were so many games that I was pleasantly surprised to see, and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. We've talked about this before. A lot of times in older state of plays and older video game presentations, a lot of times they will only show cinematic trailers. I felt like this state of play showed a lot of actual gameplay, which is nice.
Yes.
Like, okay, I get an idea for this. That was pleasantly surprised by that. But yeah, I like what's coming to state of play. Or I like what's coming to PlayStation. And the cool thing about this is you talk about them dropping it on the same time Nintendo Switch came out. To be fair, this is also Summer Game Fest week.
True.
So I mean, little column A, column B, because we're taping this beforehand, but the Summer Game Fest or whatever the show is called is going to be happening Friday.
Yes.
And then Xbox is doing something Sunday. So it kind of falls in the E3 line of when stuff's coming out. But yeah.
So yeah, like I said, when you said that they were doing this, I expected more Death Stranding 2. I expected a real big push for Death Stranding right before it drops in June, at the end of June. I expected a lot of Ghost of Yotei because Death Stranding was going to do. Death Stranding has a watch. It has a not a director's, a lot of special editions. It has a controller, which I have not. I have not. I'm not out on not buying it. If that makes any sense. Like I'm still on the.
Hey, it's like me and the Switch too.
Yeah, I'm like when I saw that controller, like an all black Death Stranding 2 controller. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, because I'm not gonna lie. If that Death Stranding watch was in the $300 to $400 realm, and I got the game too, with the special edition, I'd have bought that shit. But then when they was like, this watch is 2,000, I was nope, no, I'm not. I'm not. Mm-mm. But oh, so you're playing it. I hate you that you're playing it now because
Oh, did
I
you not
would,
want me to play it?
well, not yet because I wanted to talk
Oh,
about like,
okay.
but
Well, we go back to it.
yeah. So we were both wrong about the state of play and what it was.
Yeah.
If you had to rank this, because I've watched IGN's immediate reaction, the IGN guys, which I do like, I do like the um, Max and Brian and Jada. I really like them, and I forget what the British guy's name is. They were giving this. They were saying this is the best state of play of this generation. They were that high, and I was like, whoa. And I didn't know if that was prisoner of the moment,
I
but
don't know if I would say that, but also I am no good with my memory. So I don't know
it's
that
because
I
you're getting old.
could. Yeah, it is. I don't know if was something wrong in my
Yeah, it's probably the cats.
great. That's don't do that. Um, but I'm trying to think of any games that I was like, ooh, I wouldn't want to play this. Every game that I saw at least interested me. Some
Yeah.
of them like, oh, I could definitely buy this day one, and some of them are so far
Woo,
off.
day one,
Um,
day one, sir. Okay,
I
that's
mean, we don't.
bold.
There's no need to like try and beat around the bush. That fighting game looks incredible.
Toka, yes.
Yes, the fact that it's made by Arc System Works is great. I mean, is it Marvel vs. Capcom 4? No, but it looks really good.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it looked better than the last Marvel versus Capcom game we saw.
Oh, for sure, I'll give
Infinite,
you that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely looked better
yeah,
than that.
it does. But that looks ridiculous. If that is, hopefully that game has around 30 to 40 characters, because if it's going to be 4-on-4, you need that many. But man,
Yeah,
that looks ridiculous.
because here's the thing, and we'll get into it. Like we can hop back, go back to the beginning. Seeing that game and then watching that, because so here's the thing, the state of play came out. I didn't watch the state of play first. I watched that trailer first.
Oh,
So I
interesting.
did not see. I was like, what is this? Because I thought it
Mhm.
was something else. I was like, is this an anime? I really thought it was an anime. I didn't think it was a fighting game.
Oh
And then
yeah.
as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I'm not a real big fighting game person.
Mhm.
Like, I like them, but I'm not like the button mashing, doing all the combos. I just love the art style and the fact that I get to see these characters move. The fact that Ghost Rider, Star Lord, Storm, and
Mhm.
like Doom, like I don't think people understand the Marvel vs. Capcom games were amazing, but it was always the X-Men characters that were like really big in the
Mhm.
games. And then they brought in Iron Man and Captain America. That was cool. But to see like Storm is right there. Like to see them going all in on like Storm wrecking shop and Ghost Rider, I was like, yo, I don't even want to like. I want to play it, but I'm not. I'm not the target audience for this.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. And then this is to watch. Like I don't know if you saw it. Like they rewound
Yeah.
and
Did
like
like
did
a
the.
little breakdown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was. That made me like. I will buy the art book for this game, even if I don't buy this game.
Mhm.
That's how much I want to see like the art design, everything about it. I was like like Miss Marvel looked incredible. Like everything just looked amazing. And then there was that little line where the guy was like, "We submitted our drawings to Marvel," and Marvel was like,
Yeah.
"This
Nah,
doesn't."
we want the anime look.
Yes,
Yeah, that's cool.
that was what killed me. Like I was like, "Yo," and so I wasn't upset that I did not get to see Ghost of Yotei of Death Stranding because like that was so cool.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought about you when that came up. When it was like Yokohama, Japan, I was like, oh, I wonder if
Yeah.
Michael will go there the next time he goes to Japan.
I mean,
Like you,
that is a spot I need to put
yeah,
on my to-do list. Yeah. I since we're jumping all around, I think it's interesting because I know you said you're not the biggest fighting game fan,
no,
but there's been scuttlebutt in the fighting game community about, is Marvel vs. Capcom 4 actually happening? Because Capcom released the fighting game collection or something recently, and it kind of brought up all these old feelings like, oh, people still have an interest in Marvel vs. Capcom. Capcom still has an interest in it. So clearly they're working on Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Hold on. Not only do they still have an interest for it, Hasbro just released on their last Hasbro Marvel Legends. I want to say this week, or maybe it was last week. I can't remember. But anyway, they released their 2-packs.
Yes, I saw that.
And it was Psylocke, Shumagorath, all the different characters that you saw. You saw Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a taste, an appetite for Marvel versus Capcom, and I want an art book of just the Marvel versus Capcom art direction. Like I want those characters in that style, physically, because those character designs, some of the best we've ever seen. For Marvel and Capcom characters.
Yeah, and I say all that to say people thought, oh, there's something in the pipeline. They're working on Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Not saying that they couldn't be working on that and this, but it seems weird that Marvel would have 2 fighting games that would compete against each other unless Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is way, way down the line.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think more is less right now. Because I think what Marvel is doing is what I would like to. Somebody brought it up on Threads. Marvel is doing what DC should have done. License your characters out to other developers, and let's see what they can do.
Sure.
Now I am still hurt and still mad about the Black Panther EA game. When I texted you and friend of the show, Avery, I'm not gonna lie, I was buffering just now. Forgot Avery's name.
I was like, huh, what's going on? Yep, got it.
I was like, oh damn, I am getting old. But I was upset because you asked me, was this the Captain America Black Panther game? And I was like, no, because I'm on record of saying it's not. I'm not saying I don't want that game, but if I had to choose between the two, give me the just straight Black Panther game. So what I'm saying about this is, I like the way Marvel is going is where they're like Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, EA, all these different studios and all these different developers develop our characters, make a game. Firaxis. Now, I didn't play Midnight Suns, but I hear great things if that's a type of game that you like. A lot of people online and reviewers say that is one of the best Marvel games ever. I'm not interested in it. I think I sent it to you. That game was like $11 at like Walmart. So, but this game did interest me. Now, saying that, we want to start back at the beginning, and you can go ahead and play the video now at the beginning. Where are you with ranking this? If we had to rank this, we have to rank shit.
So what's the rubric? Like out of
what? 1 out of 5.
Like we do our stuff.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Marvel versus 4 in competitors.
Okay. So I'm with you. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I was so excited to see Luminous.
Son, you see what I got in my hand right now?
Yeah.
When I saw that and that music started playing, I was like, because I thought, so here's the thing. I thought it was going to be something else because that dude kept walking, but then I kept seeing these balls and the art direction. I was like, nah, I was like, is that Lumen? Now, here's the thing. I was watching this with my son. Me and the boys were watching this. And I got excited for this because when I saw that, I was like, yes. But see, here's the thing, what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were sneak releasing a Sony handheld.
Oh, interesting.
That's where I thought they were going.
Okay.
Because Luminous was on the handheld.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was like, yeah, they're not going to do that, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a VR game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, but I was really excited for this because I love this game because I will give this State of Play a 4 out of 5. Um, I'll give this a 4 out of 5 DualSense controller colors because I'm
Okay.
going to buy a second controller. I just haven't decided which one yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think they touched on so many different types of games for so many different types of people,
Yeah.
which is really nice. You got your fighter, you got a puzzle game, you have your action games. Only thing you really didn't see, and to
Strategy.
be strategy. Only thing you didn't see, and to be fair, you don't necessarily always see this. You didn't see a racing game, but it's not like you always see a racing game in a presentation anyway.
But you did see a car. You did see racing adjacent.
Oh, which one?
And James Bond.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
You did see automobile vehicular controls in
Okay.
James
I'll
Bond
give you
First
that.
Light. So yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. We did not see a racing game. We didn't see anything Gran Turismo
Yeah.
related. But I was like, once I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, they got me. And then this caught me off guard.
Because Pragmata. What?
Did you know this was Pragmata?
At first, no. I think I knew once. It took me a minute. Like I think eventually something is shaped into a car, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks like how the Pragmata stuff looked.
Still didn't know until I saw the suits.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Still didn't, because I was like, I honestly thought
This is
like,
when I thought it was Pragmata when I saw that car.
So here's
like,
the thing.
That looks like it.
You know what I thought this was?
Perfect Art?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought this was Bethesda's game.
Which one?
The one you bought.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So here's what I thought. When I saw the Delphi Corporation, I thought all of this. I thought this was going to be the port of
Starfield.
Yep.
Okay.
So until I saw this little girl, I was like, oh wait, is this Pragmata? This is when I realized this was Pragmata. But
Okay.
I honestly thought up until then, this was all new stuff from Starfield.
Interesting.
Because I was like,
so like maybe DLC or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was. And then when I saw Pragmata, I was like, oh wait. And then it clicked in my head. I was like, wait, Pragmata? Now, yeah. I will say,
I still don't know what is happening in this game, but at least there's gameplay in it.
So I like the gameplay aspect. How I got now I will say that I feel like this reminds me a little bit of Surge, only because you only see like one character at a time. You're not fighting a multitude of enemies, so I'm getting a Souls-like type game. And I also got a little bit of Stellar Blade.
Okay.
That level design reminded me of Stellar Blade. Now, personally, I'm not a Souls-like person, but the sci-fi elements have gotten me.
Yeah. I think this will be interesting to see, and I like this part where they kind of came back. Oh yeah, we did the 2025. No, it's coming now. 2026 is real. I think that's good. Hopefully, they're able to land that date. And hopefully it's away from Grand Theft Auto. That's all I can say.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see it coming out 2026. I see this as a 2027 game only because now that's because 2026 is going to be jam-packed, I believe. And for a new IP, I think this... Now, pause it. Before
where are we at?
The only reason why I think Pragmata is going to be a 2027 release is because... we don't know much about it. We don't know if it... We've seen a little bit smattering of gameplay. I think 2026 is going to be jam-packed, especially with GTA on the horizon. Like that's a nuclear level, Thanos level game, and we still don't know. We still don't know if there's a new Mario game coming out outside of Mario Kart, and I think that is going to drop in 2026.
Interesting.
So I do believe That's coming. So that's why I was like, it was nice to see Pragmata. I don't have any faith that that's coming out in 2026. Now, if you play it again, this is the game that caught me off guard. And I was like, oh, this is a. Now, this is when I had to stop watching it with the boy.
Yeah. Yes.
This
Yes.
part right here.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, that right there. Because I was like, wait, is that monster eating part of his face or his,
Like his
arm?
His arm.
And I was like, yep. I paused it. I was like, yeah, let's watch Bluey.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not the biggest Suda 51 fan,
Mhm.
and I guess a better way to say it is I haven't played a lot of Suda 51 games, but I know he has a habit of having this extreme kind of outlook and a certain
He's a
style
No
with his
Heroes
games.
guy, right?
Is he the No More Heroes and Travis Touchdown? Is that also Suda 51? Maybe. Let's see.
Thought so. Either way,
No
this is
More.
when I was on board. This part right here. This is when I was like, oh, you got me.
Yeah, it looks cool. The particle effects are ridiculous.
Yeah, this is when you got me.
Okay,
The mixture
Grasshopper
between-
Manufacturer. Okay, yeah.
When you mix the guns and the swords, I was like, yeah. And then I found
Yeah.
out more about the story. I was like,
Oh, so what tell me about the story. What's the story?
so supposedly your name is Romeo and you're looking for your lost girlfriend through time and space, Juliet. Now, also, your grandfather was on the back of the jacket, which
Yes.
I really got a lot of Rick and Morty vibes from this because of the grandfather back of the jacket, possibly the like originator, like trying to keep you alive, and then like this whole time and space thing. I really got a Rick and Morty vibe from it because of the different animation styles and the different universes. And then this part right here, where he hops on a motorcycle on a light beam, I was like, yeah, let me get more of this.
Yeah, Grasshopper Manufacturer. They make some wild stuff. Suda 51. That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I'm for this. Like I really want to know more about it. It's another 2026 game.
Mhm.
So again, sign me up. This was the game that I was like, yo, this is brand new. I didn't know this was on the radar. I didn't know
So was that the game you were most excited by seeing here, or
this was the game I was most surprised by in a
Okay.
sense of like it's brand new IP, a brand new something different
Mhm.
because we'll get into it later with a lot of more of these announcements and stuff. This was the game that I was like, I know the developer, I know the studio, but I don't play a lot of their stuff. But
Mhm.
this was the one where I was like, the different animation styles intrigued me because from the beginning you got which looked like hand drawn animation. Then you jam the guy in the eye with what just looks like a weird hypodermic thing, whatever. That was a
Mhm.
whole totally separate animation style. Then you see whatever the Osmosis Jones thing going on in this guy's body. You see the video
That's
game
a good
stuff,
pull, Osmosis Jones. Yeah.
and then you see like all the other different animation styles. Like it was just a lot going on, and that's what I was here for. I was like, it's almost like the developers are finally figuring out how to utilize the PS5 and its hardware.
Mhm.
And so that's what spoke to me.
Okay. Are we going over every single game, or are we just talking about
No, we don't have to go like you
Okay.
played it. Those were the things that stood out to me. So those are the
'cause
things that I was like,
Silent Hill was there. I have nothing against Silent Hill. Y'all know, people know this channel. I don't do scary games.
it's not our games. It's
So, yeah,
not.
I don't know.
It
It looks freaky, so I guess that's what it's supposed to do.
Now, I will say this. A lot of people talked about the lighting differences in the game or the way it's brighter than other Silent Hill games. And I will say this. We bag on developers, people in the industry when we think that they're dropping the ball or fucking up. Konami is coming a little harder with video games. We see Silent Hill coming back. We see them bringing back Metal Gear Solid Delta. Konami's not sitting on the sidelines anymore. They're not relying on pachinko machines.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I'm trying to see what else that popped up here.
So if you want to just do a breakdown, so we saw Luminous,
I was trying to find the clip where Metal Gear is.
Pragmata,
I don't see it on the thing.
Neo 3, which another Souls like. We talked about Silent Hill F. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection was announced. Metal Gear
Yeah, that's
Solid Delta. Now, did you realize it was bloodstained when it rolled? Or were you like, this is interesting?
I mean, I thought it could have either been a Bloodstained or a Castlevania or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So I
because it kind
own
of looked like the same art style.
Mhm. Now I've played the first Bloodstain, and I thought it was really good. And I played it after it.
And this one looks to have maybe co-op or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how it plays. What did you think of Digimon?
I don't know Digimon.
Only reason I asked is because
Digimon to me could be the same as Silent Hill. It's not for me. I just don't know it.
only reason why I bring it up is
I know
because
Pokemon more. Yeah, what's up?
something that I have been paying attention to recently, as as we've talked about on the channel, we're both fathers. We both have kids, and we like to play video.
All right,
I was
what we're doing.
I was waiting to see if you would go catch on to that. Anyway, so like
Mhm.
I've said that I watched this with the kids, and like
Mhm.
so I fast forward through Romeo is Dead or whatever. But then I went back to Digimon and I played it for Evan.
Mhm.
Evan's 4 going on 5. And this did catch his attention.
Mhm.
And so I'm always interested in things that like catches my attention and catches
Right.
his attention. 4 to 40. Like I'm always interested, and I thought this was interesting that he stopped what he was doing to see what this was. And I did as well because I'm not a Digimon person either.
Mhm.
But I did think it was interesting because even though the slate came up, I did notice that it was Digimon,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, cool. So I just think that's interesting. I was interested in Tides of Tomorrow. I thought that was
Which one is Times of Tomorrow?
Tides of Tomorrow is the one that's like the multiplayer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Everybody's dying of plastic poisoning.
Hmm.
I thought that was interesting, only because I thought the art style was cool. I
Now this
thought
is it only VR? Because this looks like VR.
I don't believe it's VR,
Oh, okay, cool.
but I thought the art direction was cool, and I thought the idea of like this, of like
Hmm.
seeing other people's ghost, of like where they were in the game and how that affects you,
Yeah.
reminded me of Death Stranding.
Oh,
Of
interesting.
like you could how other people's play styles affects you going forward. And I just thought that was interesting. And I really like this animation, or I really like this art design.
Yeah, the art. I
So,
do like the art style of it. Yeah.
so yeah, so like, now here's my question.
Hmm.
When you were watching this, because this game looks cool, it's a multiplayer game, which means microtransactions. We have to be cognizant of microtransactions in all the games we play. Did you think about pricing in any of these games? Like what's going to be $80? What's going to be $70? What's going to be $60 and $50?
No,
Okay.
no, because at this point,
Because
I've just come to expect games are just going to go up. So that's just what it is.
I think
So
games are going to go
I
up.
wasn't worried. I think I didn't because I enjoyed everything I saw and everything had such a level of polish to it. I wasn't worried about, oh, are you going to nickel and dime me for this?
Here's the thing. I did think about price because I think some of these games are not going to be $70 and $80. So like Sea of Swords. I don't think it's going to
Hmm.
be $80. Karn. I don't think it's
Oh
going to
yeah,
be,
probably.
or
Yeah, you're right.
Sword of the Sea. I don't think those
Yeah.
are going to be $80. Ninja Gate and Rebound, Ragebound, Hirogami. A lot of these
Hmm.
games, Baby Steps. I don't think a lot of these games are going to be $80 games or $100 games. I think
Sure.
some of these games are going to be 40 and $50. And I thought that was what I liked about this state of play, the balance between AAA games that you know are going to be $60, $70, maybe,
Hmm.
but then also Sword of the Sea. I thought that was a cool game. Um, I really thought Hiragami, is that what it's called? Yeah, Hiragami. I thought
Hmm.
that was a cool game. The paper folding game. Um, some of these lesser known, and I've also felt like PlayStation or Sony still hasn't figured out how to push the PlayStation Plus service because they did talk about it, but we talked about Xbox's last what is X the showcase?
Yeah, they're showcase. Yeah.
Xbox's showcase made a point to tell you day and date on Game Pass. Like
Hmm.
it was very much in your face. You understood this is day and date Game Pass. And I felt like Sony still was like not really pushing PlayStation Plus in a way that you understood this is day and date on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and I think it also goes back to their strategy. Sony is they're the number one. They are not worried about you only being in their PlayStation Plus, where Xbox is like,
True,
no, you need to be on the Xbox Game Pass.
true. Now, here's the thing. We talk about Sony and Xbox. I was a little shocked we did not hear any of the Xbox games that are coming to PlayStation in this state of play.
Um,
Because right now we talked about what we liked and what we didn't like.
mhm.
What I'm interested in talking about is what we didn't see, and we didn't see Resident Evil 9. We didn't see. We know Gears of War is coming to PlayStation. We didn't see any of that.
Yeah,
We didn't see Death Stranding, Ghost of Yote. I just think it's interesting
we did
considering
see Ghost of Yote.
you're right. We did see Ghost of Yote. We saw like a little clip
Yeah,
of like gameplay coming out. What I
right.
thought was interesting is we did not see, and now we may see this with maybe some of the other things which you talk about Summer Gaming Fest, even though
I think some of that
we've
stuff is
taken
going to be
this.
Summer Game Fest.
What I thought was interesting is Sony didn't make this hard push to me for their stuff coming out this year, and maybe it comes out later, considering the big dog on campus is GTA 6 is not coming out this year.
Yeah, but I wonder how far. So obviously, you can change the last graphic in a video to be like the date is whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if the game studios know exactly how many game studios know when their game is actually going to come out.
Hmm.
So maybe they're like, we can't give you a date yet because we're still trying to put this together.
Understand? Because I know they're not the same. There's a report that's like, oh, we finally finished Superman. Like Superman, the movie Superman, James Gunn Superman is done. And it's like, yeah, that comes out next month. You might should be done with that by now.
Hmm.
So and we know video game development is different. I just I just find all of this interesting, even though I'm not as plugged in as I used to be. I just thought it was interesting. GTA 6 is not coming out this year. That should have been a sigh of relief from everybody, but also a mad scramble this year to maybe
Hmm.
get your game out this year versus next year.
Yeah, I mean, we still got the latter half. I mean, we are just now in the back half of the year, so we'll see what happens if we see a bunch of a glut of releases come out.
And you know that so The big game that I'm actually shocked we didn't see, because I wasn't too shocked about Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. I was shocked by Marathon,
Um,
and I think that was on
when's the last
purpose.
time we saw that?
Oh, bruh, that's been a couple of months ago, but when we saw
Has
the
it? Okay.
and immediately after that came out, that's when the controversy dropped about the stealing of the art. And so I'm wondering, was that intentional? Like, was State of Play Marathon supposed to be in this? And all of the controversy surrounded that, they were like, pull all of it.
Hmm.
Because this would have been a perfect time to push Marathon. I just
Yeah, I'm of two minds of that because was it 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 years ago when Sony was all like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, everything has to be this free to play thing or some type of game and service thing," and they've
Yep.
kind of dialed that back now as they realize you got to be a special, you got to get that right sauce in order to make that happen. So
Mhm.
I wonder if they're like, let's dial that back for maybe its own Sony PlayStation showcase or something instead of a state of play.
I looked at it as, excuse my language, they fucked up. And let's fix this before we go any further.
Hmm.
That's just how I saw it. Now, I do want your opinion because you are a fighting. You may not play them as much. How? Where were you when they announced that fighting stick?
Uh, Probably in my bed watching on the YouTube channel.
Not physically, sure.
Oh, I didn't
Like,
answer your question.
where? Like, did you sit up in the bed when they announced the Project Defiant, or were you like,
It's
or
interesting because I haven't bought a. The last fighting stick I bought was probably for the
I think I,
Xbox One.
I think I was with you when you bought that.
You might have been, because I ended up going and modding it so it'd be on the PS4 too. Um, I like fighting sticks,
Because did you buy that at a
and
convention?
maybe, possibly, I might have.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I like them. I don't really collect fighting sticks like that. I think they're interesting. Um, I'd like to get one every once in a while. I don't get them for every single console, but I guess and I don't know what the parts are for this particular joystick. I would assume they're probably all like the premium Sonoma parts and everything. Um, but yeah, that would be nice to know. Like, what are the parts inside the joystick? There's probably a press release out there that says it.
It says PlayStation is making its own fight stick, promising precise in-game response with ultra low latency wireless and wired play options, along with a durable, ergonomic design that's built for battle.
I mean, that seems to make sense, especially with Sony buying the Evo fighting tournament a couple years ago. So they're really pushing that. A big thing people think is they wonder if the new Marvel game fighting game that we saw will be playable in some form at Evo this year.
Tokon,
Yeah,
Tokon, yeah.
yeah,
That'd be
and
smart. I mean,
yeah, but I don't know who knows how far along in development the game is. I don't know.
yeah. Um, I just when it comes to these type of things, I'm always interested in them, but I'm also excited about like the conversation about what's not in it because
Hmm.
we understand that the state of plays, the showcases, the directs, these are all just giant commercials for us to salivate and pick apart. But they're all just giant commercials for mega corporations.
Hmm.
But they're also commercial art. And a lot of these games we saw had vastly different animation styles, different gameplays. I was a little encouraged by the different art directions that we saw and the scale of games. And
Hmm.
I do believe that Microsoft slash Xbox has done a better job of developing and showcasing and highlighting indie developers along with their AAA games. And I thought that was the real good part that we saw in this state of play. We got to see because again, I really enjoyed seeing Hirogami and Sword of the Sea. Sword of the Sea reminded me because there was no like giant boss battles, and Karn. There
Yeah.
was like it's these games that they're adventures, but like Sword of the Sea was like the idea that the soundtrack is just going to affect you on a personal and emotional level reminded me of Greece a little bit or Journey.
Mm, okay, sure.
So that was something I liked to see in this state of play.
I think the only thing that was left for me was I am excited about Final Fantasy Tactics, and there's like
Ah,
the fact
yes.
that it's a revamped edition with voiceover and everything, and enhanced controls or classic graphics versus enhanced graphics. Um,
What
I
did you
bought.
think about that?
I was excited. I enjoyed Final Fantasy Tactics. I didn't play a lot of it when it first came out,
Mm,
but I enjoyed what I did play of it, and I would definitely play it again now. So yeah,
okay.
think that's
Continue your
October,
thought.
September.
Yeah,
I
continue your
think
thought.
that's
I'm sorry.
I know. I think that's September, October. So yeah, I'll pick that up.
I always wonder about people such as yourself who are like, what do you want to play first? The original or and is this a game that you're going to come back to? So like, are you going to play the enhanced version and not come back to the original version, or excuse me, do the original version and then come back to the enhanced version?
I don't know. It would depend. I don't know that I would say this: if I were to beat it in one way, I would probably be a few years before I play it again in a different way.
Do you think that's a $70 game?
No, I think that might be.
Okay,
I'm gonna say 60 for that.
okay.
Yeah, I hope 60, but who knows?
The only reason why I ask is because I know you've talked about these style games, and again, I'm also wondering this whole price thing because we've seen recently. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's is it Gearbox, the CEO of
Randy
Borderlands.
Pitchford, who just says
Yes.
whatever. Yeah, that dude is.
Whoo!
Yeah.
Like I'm like, your PR department has to hate you. Like his PR department literally has to hate him because even his apologies and even his things, go look at what he said. I'm paraphrasing. He was basically saying, if you're a real fan, if you fork over the however much this game costs,
Hmm.
because people were asking him, is Borderlands 4 going to be $80? And he was like, real fans will pay whatever we set the price. And that was not great. And then he had an opportunity to fix his statement at a developers conference, and it was hot garbage.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
sure.
like it was almost like he was there. It was almost like watching the Righteous Gemstones, where like the kids figure out that they made a mistake, and they're right there on the cusp of like growing and being better people, and
Hmm.
then they go and do something, and it's like you were right there when he did that. Will we? Won't we? Will we? And it's like you don't realize why people hated your response. And so I thought that was interesting in relation to this state of play. No prices were announced. They just announced games, a little bit of gameplay, and they kept it short and sweet to where you could watch it in about an hour and quickly moved on. Like, all right, we out.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a wild dude. I mean, but he's been that way for years. He always says some wild stuff.
Now here's the thing. I didn't realize he was that wild.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't keep up with a lot of the actual things people say in the video game space unless
Hmm.
you say some heavily wild shit. Metal Gear Solid Delta, is that a day one purchase for you?
It could be. It was nice seeing more gameplay now, even though
Hmm.
it's a game I loved before. Yeah, it definitely could be. What is that? Is that August? When is that?
I did not see.
Yeah. Let's see. Metal Gear Solid Delta. is August 26th. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It just seems like it's coming along nicely. It's more what I want. A game that I loved at the time. Now just upgraded graphics, probably improved compatibility. So yeah, give it to me.
Okay. So I think that wraps up all the games. I know there were some we didn't talk about. I tried to hit all of the big ones
Yeah.
that we actually care about. Neo. We didn't talk about Neo. What do you think about the fact that Neo has a demo right now, and you can play it and then get extra shit if you beat the demo when the game comes out? Like,
Cool for those people that love Neo. That
Yeah.
ain't me.
I'm
I
not
don't
a
need.
big
I don't need games hard like that. Mm-mm.
I'm not a Neo fan, but I will play this demo just because
Interesting. Okay.
it's free. Like, I want to see what it's
Okay.
about. And I never played a Neo game. I will say this: I do now. If you guys know who does this, what I'm about to say, put it in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. I am interested in the Neo timeline because the Neo timeline spans to Near Automata. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't know.
Am I wrong? Hold on, let me make sure before I say this and the whole internet comes for us.
Comes for you.
I'm gonna give them your address.
Fantastic.
That's what I do, buddy. Yeah, it's so like they're all in the same universe. So what I would love is like, what is the bridge? What is the connection? But other than that, I thought this was a really good state of play. I liked it. My boys liked it, but again, by the time you guys see this, they'll still be 2 and 4. Next week they'll be 3 and 5. But like anything that catches my son's attention and my attention, I perk up because I think that's interesting. The things that catches 4 to 40, I like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can catch both of those people's attention, that age group, you got something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that. They talk about the 4-quadrant movie, but like the 4-quadrant video game or the 4-quadrant in any form of entertainment is always going to be valuable.
Now you say that you got to explain it for the people who don't know what that is. There may be somebody who's like
the 4-quadrant is like what, young, old. What's the 4-quadrant? It's like it affects everybody. It's like young, old, male, female, 4-quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Quadrant movie. Male over 25, female over 25, female under 25, male under 25. There we go.
Yeah.
So old, young, men, women. Affects everybody.
Old, young.
Old. Yeah.
See, now here's the thing. That's why Nintendo's popular, because they hit all of those quadrants on a lot of their games.
Yeah, that's why they got $800 out of me for a system that I haven't even touched.
You saw exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
So guys, like, comment, and subscribe. We just got finished talking about Nintendo and Sony. This week is Summer Game Fest. We'll talk about that later, but this is a tape show. We want to hear from you. Also, Michael, as we wrap this up, what got you through the week?
Honestly, this week is going to be sleep. It is going to be sleep because I had a crazy, weird schedule.
Sleep got you through the week, or next week sleep's going to get you through the week?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. Because I've had a crazy work schedule trying to train our interns and our new producer and our producer in residence coming. So I'm finally adjusting back to my regular night side shift, which is nice.
Yeah, you ain't been on that for what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah. And last week I was the manager on call and we had a bunch of breaking news, so I didn't get any sleep. Like I literally stayed up over 24 hours to deal with different stories. So yeah, I'm excited to sleep this weekend, watch some Money in the Bank, maybe eat a pizza.
Should have came when I offered you that job.
I mean, y'all, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Also, I may have a plate for you later because we're doing a little grilling out. So hamburgers.
Did you
hot
figure?
dogs.
Are you doing a party?
We're just doing something small for the boys because
People don't care about this, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
It,
They don't want to hear this.
I just want to say, Michael's married. My boys will be 5 and 3 by the next time you see us after this. Will they? Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do a review of the Ballerina and Mission Impossible eventually. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what got you through the week. Let us know. Also, protect your mental. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's wild out there. Stay off the socials. And we're out. Peace.